Incentive-compatible mechanisms. In a world with money, our mechanisms will not only choose a social alternative, but will also determine monetary payments to be made by the different players. The complete social choice is then composed of the alternative chosen as well as of the transfer of money. Nevertheless, we will refer to each of these parts separately, calling the alternative chosen the social choice, not including in this term the monetary payments. Formally, a mechanism needs to socially choose some alternative from A, as well as to decide on payments. The preference of each player I is modeled by a valuation function vi which maps from A to R, where little vi is in capital Vi. Throughout the rest of this chapter, capital Vi, which is a subset equals to R to the A, is a commonly known set of possible valuation functions for player I. Starting at this point and for the rest of this chapter, it will be convenient to use the following standard notation. Let V equals to V1, V2, V3 until Vn be an n-dimensional vector. We will denote the n-1 dimensional vector in which the ith coordinate is removed by V minus I equals to V1, V2, V3, Vi minus 1, Vi plus 1 until Vn. Thus, we have three equivalent notations. V equals to V1, V2, V3 until Vn, which is equals to Vi, V minus I. Similarly, for capital V, which is the product of capital V1 and capital V2 and so on until the capital Vn, the product of all of this, we will denote capital V minus I equals to the product of capital V1, capital V2, capital Vi minus 1, capital Vi plus 1, and so on until capital Vn. Similarly, we will use T minus I, X minus I, capital X minus I, etc. Definition 9.14. A direct revelation mechanism is a social choice function f which maps from the multiplications of V1, capital V2, and so on until capital Vn to A, and a vector of payment function P1, P2, P3 until Pn, where Pi which maps from capital V1, capital P2, and so on until capital Vn to R, is the amount that player I pays. The qualification direct revelation will become clear in section 9.4, where we will generalize the notion of a mechanism further. We are now ready for the key definition in this area, incentive compatibility, also called strategy proofness or truthfulness. Definition 9.15. A mechanism F, P1, P2, P3 until Pn is called incentive compatible if for every player I, every little vi in capital V1, little v1 in capital V1, little v2 in capital V2, and so on until little vn in capital Vn. And for every vi prime in capital Vi, we will, if we denote A equals to the output of F of little vi minus I, and A prime equals to the output of F of little vi prime V minus I, then Vi of A minus Pi of Vi V minus I is greater than or equals to Vi of A prime minus Pi of Vi prime V minus I. Intuitively, this means that player I whose valuation is Vi would prefer telling the truth Vi to the mechanism rather than any possible lie Vi prime, since this gives him higher in the weak sense utility.